Hello guys, welcome to this platform. This is Byron Nadera, ex-Kenya Special Forces officer, security expert, consultant and blogger. Remember, we have been handling issues as concerns the military practice, and we've had to go through what we call the Super Soldier series that have highlighted the happenings and the making of the Super Soldier, basically special operators, and that's the small community of guys that make the tip of the spear for the Kenya military practice, or the military practice as it is globally. Now, to connect that, we are going to, on this platform, discuss more about the making of a military officer. Remember to follow me on my socials at Byron Adera and Adera B Panther on Facebook. This is going to be an interesting discussion, and with me here is my comrade, Major Retired Babuya Bonaya.
Sure.
And one thing we have in common is the fact that we actually did go through the cadet training together. So which means this actually starts from where you get selected as the few among the many to join the ranks of the military officers that are pretty much the commanders of the KDF as per the formations as they come. The Navy, Air Force, and basically the Army. Now, military officers don't sprout from nowhere, and so it's going to be a very interesting discussion to let you into the making of a military officer. And so it starts from somewhere. As I said, military officers don't just sprout from nowhere. They are men that are cut for the business, and the business that's actually ahead of you, and as we've had to go through this, is a very heavy one. Now, the selection, as they say, is as intriguing and as interesting as it comes. And that's exactly where we're going to start this conversation, to let you, both the hopefuls and the people who are related to the men and women who are serving as military officers, to basically know exactly what people go through. Now, my good friend, welcome to the platform, Babuya.
Thank you so much.
I'm really happy to have you around.
Thank you so much, Adera.
Great. So the selection, man, it starts from somewhere.
This journey is quite interesting. Yeah?
Yes.
I remember I was back in campus,
Yeah.
and then I came across the newspaper.
Yes.
Advertisement. Of course, they're looking for general service officers.
Yeah.
And I decided to give it a try. Of course, it was a passion that I had before going into campus.
Yeah.
So many months down the line, I get a call from a friend.
Yeah.
Have you checked the papers today?
Today's newspaper.
I say, no, not yet. You are a celebrity. You are one of the people who have been selected.
I remember the newspaper had, we were 450 that were shortlisted.
Yes. 480.
480?
480.
Okay.
Yeah. 480.
That's way back in 2005.
2005.
Yes.
Yeah. So you feel the jitters, you feel the adrenaline rushing in, and all of a sudden you start acting like a military guy.
Even before you
go for the interview. You are done military fatigue from time to time. You change your walking style. Little did you know that there's a big task waiting for you.
Absolutely.
Ahead.
Yeah.
But it's generally a nice feeling.
Yeah.
I remember we reported at Lanet.
Yes.
So many of us.
It used to be called the FTC, Armed Forces Training College.
Yes.
Now it's changed, the Kenya Military Academy.
Yeah. I remember we boarded those matatus that head to Ndondori.
Yes.
And then you alight at the gate for the first time.
Yeah.
You are in a military installation.
Yes.
And then your parents and relatives are told you can now go. You are through with your business.
You leave us with this guy.
Ours to deal with. I remember I was in my nice official and leather shoes.
Yes.
Very smartly dressed. I think I was expecting more of a white collar interview. And then the moment you get into the main gate, you process the papers.
Yes.
And then now it goes to medical.
Yeah.
But before the medical, kila mtu weka line hapa. Weka certificate kando.
Yes.
Sasa tumeanza kazi.
I remember, and what most interests me, and same as your story, man. Immediately you see the shortlisting and in the papers. I remember for me, I was for me in campus. I was Upper Kabete campus, the University of Nairobi.
Yes.
And I get a call that definitely you appear somewhere in a newspaper, and did you make an application? I said, oh, so you remember?
Yes.
Trust me, that's when everything stops and you go get that paper. Yeah? So I remember calling home, called my auntie, called mom, I didn't call dad, because pretty much my dad did not wish. And I think this is what we've shared in quite a few of us who are in campus. Some of them were basically just about to graduate.
Yes.
Had a lot of difficulty to even make the decision. Because the way it appears on the newspaper is that you are called in for a general service officer cadet interview. And no one basically lets you into what happens.
Yeah.
So
you're totally blind.
You're totally blind. And I remember we had a few weeks to make this decision, and for me I struggled with that decision because leaving campus, man, and the cats.
The cats are just around the corner.
Cats around the corner. I didn't want to make, so you literally catch-22, and it's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
For me, my worry was 3 weeks. What are these guys looking for in someone for 3 weeks? Are questions asked in slow time or something?
No. Actually, the newspaper was very sketchy.
Yes.
It did not define the time that we were going to spend.
Yes.
So actually, I was going for a day's business.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, I just had my certificates.
Yes.
That's it.
No change of clothes, no nothing.
So when we get there, and then you start asking, when are we going back home? And then one of those instructors tells you, you'll stay here for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Gives you a shock. Now the cats, you are treading in between the cats.
Yes.
And the interview. Actually, it's not an interview. By the time we go there, now we got to know that it's a selection.
It's a root shock.
It's a process.
So I remember after the certificates, and this is the sequence. So the certificates, and quite a few, and the army is really thorough, by the way. So it discourages, dreamers, and it discourages those who just bought certificates and the fake ones. So those ones were instantly. And I remember seeing guys basically waste away, and it's not like we don't want you here. There's the military police are there, and they're taking, charge, and they're taking control of such guys. And then I think you were in Coast, because back then in provinces. So from you, Coast province was Nyanza. And I remember our lines were pretty much, I think, next to each other. So mkae hapa, watu wa Nyanza, mkae hapa, watu wa Coast.
Nyanza, Western, I don't know, Northeastern, province,
Nairobi.
Central province.
Yeah, then there was Nairobi.
There is Nairobi. According to the provinces, and then broken down into districts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Namnakaa kwa mchanga. That was the great shock.
Na uko na suit.
I had a creamed suit, man, and it was crazy. So you actually literally on the floor and you inching forward. The tents are out there and the people are getting processed. Then came the run.
Yes. Shock number 2. Shock number 2. You are in your official leather shoes. You are in your suit.
Yes.
And you are supposed to do, was it a 12 mile?
Yeah,
12 mile run before you go for the medicals. Now this is where the fun started there. So, on to your marks, get set, go. Because I remember you just fold your trousers to this level so that at least you can have that leg room as you stretch down the road.
Yeah.
It was a shocker, by the way.
Kabisa.
Okay, I happened to be a bit physically fit.
Yeah.
Because I was in the USIU hockey team. So we used to do a lot of physical. So on the part of physical fitness, I wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But when it came now to the run, the endurance was quite an issue. And I remember trailing with you at the back.
It was you, myself, and Mato then. Because ideally, for me, I was into weightlifting and all sorts of things in campus. So yes, the static energy was there.
Yes.
But the endurance side of things killed me. I mean, for me as well, you were here with the marathoners, proven marathoners. And you remember
guys from Rift Valley.
Guys from Rift Valley.
By the time
to your corner ndo wanyoshe. You remember that road towards
tuko kwa Abdurrahman huko nyuma. Naambiwa number 1 already yako huko. Unasema bwana hii kazi mimi nimekosa. So, unfortunately, they were not only looking for who is
But
going to lead.
I remember you had you call it coals.
Yeah, those mint sweets.
That for sure. Let me tell you for today, that's for sure is what
They give you some
got
glucose.
me a pat in the back, man, and the necessary glucose to complete the run. But again, ulituchoma sana, you know, because you run ahead, and we are trying to catch up with you, and
Yes.
yeah.
I'm normally into sprinting.
Yes.
So I could sprint and then sit down and then wait for you guys. By the time you get to where I am, I've already recovered. So I get up again and run. And then sema bana babuya unatuchoma bwana. It was somehow psychological, but it affected you.
It did affect us. But I remember that was a booster for sure, because again, as you were running and we'd meet people by the wayside,
Yes.
we'd really run into you know, suits that people,
Yes.
you know, coats. Watu wametoa koti,
Ametupa.
wametupa, longi wametupa. And I remember someone rocking up, you know, getting back to camp, literally in his knickers. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember again we ran into someone who he looked really mentally totally lost it.
I know it was a guy from Kisii.
Yes.
I think I don't know what happened, but something went loose mentally. Because I remember he took off the shoes, threw one, said, nimekutanguliza mbele nitakupata huko. And then took out the other one, anarusha mbele, anasema nitakupata huko. And then all of a sudden the guy transforms into a vampire. He wants to bite everybody that nears him. That's when now I think the medical team, which were trailing with the ambulance back.
Yeah.
So they come in, they pick this guy. The guy is violent. I don't know what was happening.
True.
But it was more of a mental issue.
True. So we get back to camp. Eventually we get back to camp, and I remember that's when the full medicals now kicked in.
Yes.
Ideally, even the running.
Yeah.
We thought that running was part of the part of the serials for tests or gradable ones, but it wasn't. To me, at the end of the day, it was meant to score some other objectives or goals for that matter. I mean, maybe churn up your system.
Yes.
Because after that, now you go into full medicals. You know, you are urine tested. You know, and all sorts of things.
No, I remember there was one guy from Costa.
Yeah.
After running, we were brought again back to the queue.
Yeah.
And then you were supposed to go get your pee so that it goes for analysis.
Yeah.
So the guy goes into the tent, picks up that can, but goes to the urinal and there's no urine. So the guy is told, kaa hapa ukunywe maji. I think almost like 3 liters. Imekuja, unasikia kama unaweza kutoa saizi. So the guy goes back to the urinal. Still not even a single drop.
Now what were the bad urine?
If
you remember.
Yeah.
You know, because you'd go into those tents, na tunaulizana, because there were guys who literally they doubted themselves. So that thing was actually it shook people. You know, the shock was real. You know, for the first time, and I guess this is the point. In our culture, and I think this is more of a you know, prevailing challenge. People don't go to do some of medical checkups. People don't. So even for us, you thinking, when was the last time you did this?
Yeah.
So I remember people what wale kwa naombana, you know, urine in those.
Because you don't know the outcome.
You don't know the outcome.
You don't know the outcome. You are not sure about your medical state.
Yes. Yeah. So kuna mtu anaonekana ako sawa, you know, guys who had come fresh from school.
Yes.
I remember there's this guy who sank with quite a lot of guys, because his urine test came back with a lot of, you know, and you know, he's telling of your vitals, the vital organs,
kidneys.
And quite a number of individuals lost it. Tulisikia baadaye, you know, when we now start back in groups.
Ile watu walichukua mkojo ya so and so. Hakuna.
And you also don't want to say that by day it was so and so.
Yes.
Because again,
integrity issues.
Yes. Utachujwa. And so you know, I'm actually thankful, because these are the character traits that we got to learn at the end of the day. So for some of us who are brave enough, they'd find a bit of albumin, I think. That was basically the trip albumin was a huge one. So then, of course, we get done with the medicals.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are done with the medicals, and then we get to shock number 3 now. We thought we were going to be released to go back home.
Yeah.
Only to be told that we are being taken to the accommodation area to spend the night because there's another run tomorrow morning. And then the guys were like, "Ai, kwani tunalala huku?"
Na mahali mnalala, you know the shock.
So we were
shock
taken to the quartermaster stores. Everybody being
unapewa
issued a sleeping bag. Some old military uniform with a number place on the chest.
running number. Yeah.
Running number. And then that becomes your attire for the whole 3 weeks. Hakuna kuvaa raia.
And I remember the mestins.
And
the ladies among us, amongst us were asking like, tutakula na kwa hizi
mikebe.
mikebe.
Mikebe. Little did they know that that will form part of their kit for the rest of the training.
True. You know, so the mestin, and then we had the cap. Actually, it's also the plastic, the marquee soldier.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there's another interesting part.